Hello, and welcome back to Leaky Gaming, and welcome back to another episode of Soviet Skylines Mod Monday. Today we have beaches, American plains, and Armenian City Hall. Hey ho, disclaimer again, I'm not promoting anything, I'm just doing this for fun. Hopefully you guys enjoy these videos. If you do, don't forget to press the like button, and if you have some preferences here, just leave a comment in the comment section. And also please do check out all the other models. There's amazing. This is one of the best week with the models. I couldn't even fit them all. There's even no map there because there's so many good ones. But anyway, let's get started. Bremerd, Fjordska, low residential housing, a massive thank you, yada. 1969 government of the People Democratic Republic of Finland agreed to develop Fjordska. Easy building, you gonna have to go and check out that for yourself. But this is something that I was looking forward to because I knew that it was in development and I couldn't wait for this to be finished. This is a low-rise buildings. Recently I have a sweet spot for them as well, and I really wanted to have some of these, and Mr. Chris actually released it. Now we have 3 different models. That would be a single, let's say 2-segment Fjordska, 4-segment Fjordska, and then we have 8-segment Fjordska. This one can house 320 people. It has skins. I installed the skins as well. You can see here in different models how it looks like. This is with cladding or something on the outside. Of course you have the one with the tiles, I believe, and of course with concrete blocks. I have no idea which is my favorite. Probably the original one with the blue. Anyway, how does it compare to vanilla buildings capacity wise and price wise? Right, so we have on the right hand side 147 and 75. 147 people, we're gonna compare it to 160, 147, it's close enough. So let's see how does it compare. The biggest building we have here would be 300, this is Mr. Chris's one. On the right hand side you have the prefab building, it requires 500, so the vanilla building requires 600 work days. It does have 5.8 tons of steel and 57 tons of prefab panels, yada. This one has double, it has 8 times more steel, it has double the prefab panel. It's definitely more expensive. Mr. Chris's one. What about the smaller one? The smaller one would be over here. We're gonna compare it to medium-sized building. I'm not gonna go, or wait. Yeah, we're gonna go for the smaller one. So the smallest one comparing to this one that can house 75 people, this Mr. Chris's one can house 80 people. So on the left-hand side, you can see on the right-hand side you have 348 work days to be finished, and you do require 4 tons of steel and 40 tons of prefab panels. This one requires 2.5 times more steel and requires a little bit less prefab panels, but does require other materials and much more of them. So definitely realistic price compared to capacity, and something that you will see in my Let's Plays. Go and check the link in the description of the video. Wild Bunny Lignite Power Plant. This mod includes lignite power plants. Since there is no lignite in the game, it burns 150 tons of raw coal, needs 50 workers, and produces 3,500 megawatts of power per day. It requires cooling tower, and this mod also includes small forced draft wet cooling tower. Model for power plant and cooling tower by me, Electric Shape by 3 Division. Right. Okay, right, this is definitely my favorite. I'm kind of lost. Okay, I'm kind of lost about this one because this is definitely my favorite mod. This is what I was waiting for a long time. Power plants with cooling towers. Now the vanilla power plant does have a cooling tower, but it's integrated. But no, this is way better. This is way better. I love this, and this is probably my favorite mod, favorite power plant altogether. It looks beautiful, and I never saw this kind of cooling tower before. But it's a huge power plant. It does require raw coal or coal ore, not processed coal. As you can see here, it consumes a lot of it though. Bear in mind that vanilla power plant, I believe it has 1,200. So this one is 3 times more powerful, but it takes the vanilla one, as far as I remember, takes 24 tons of coal, processed coal, which is way less. We're gonna see statistics of the vanilla power plant. It's right here on the left hand side. So you have 20 workers, 24 tons of coal, 1,400 megawatts of power, which is 2.5 times less than this one. This one does require more, but bear in mind this power plant is huge, the modded ones, plus you have to have a cooling tower. This requirement for cooling tower is absolutely my favorite feature of this power plant. It's huge, it does take raw coal, which is I mean, like in real life, we talk about in my episodes as well about power production, usually for power plants, and well, the biggest Bełchatów power plant in Poland uses lignite as it's a brown coal as a source of what you burn for electricity, and here you don't have that choice. You do have a brown coal, which is kind of unprocessed coal ore, and then you have black coal or anthracite after you process it. And this one does require only coal ore, and this is genius part as well. Does require more workers than usual, and does require the cooling tower to be connected. Now, how does it compare to vanilla power plant? Right, on the right hand side here we have a coal power plant, vanilla one. Like we said, it does have much less power production than this one, but how does it compare price wise? So if we go for power plant and we find our new power plant, lignite power plant over here, you can see that it requires 14,000 days to be finished, which is twice as much as the vanilla one. It requires more or less similar. The vanilla requires 871 tons of concrete, while this one does require a little bit less. It does require more gravel because it has a larger surface. It does require more asphalt because it has larger surface. It does require more steel. It does require prefab panels as well. This is probably because the vanilla one is made all out of concrete, while the this one has panels as well. So that would be quite realistic. Mechanical components are 5 times more, 4 times more, and electrical components are 2.5 times more. So I believe that this would be price comparable to vanilla one. 400,000 it would cost here, while this one is 270,000. So definitely something that you're going to see in my Let's Plays, definitely realistic in my book. ROPS074. This is a technical university based on a real building in Lublin, Poland. Employs 45 workers with basic education, 45 lecturers. Educates about 135 students. Mr. Robs is kind of regular on this channel because he releases mods like crazy. Of course, I installed the skins as well. I'm not gonna link the skins. You're gonna have to go and check them yourself. But classic Mr. Robs, you have 6, 7, 8 different types of skins here. So go and check them out. Link in description of the video. Oh, and of course we need to compare it to vanilla one. So let's go and check out the vanilla one, university. So on the right hand side we have technical university, on the left hand side we're gonna have a mod of university over here. We're gonna go all the way to the end. So this technical university requires 88,884, while this one is a little bit more expensive, but you can see that this building is much larger. This is vanilla technical university. To see what kind of materials are required to build this, just to see if it's at all realistic price wise and building wise, yes, of course you can see that it requires a lot of materials. It does require 61 tons of steel, 158 tons of bricks, yada yada yada. Something that you're definitely gonna see in my Let's Plays. Big thumbs up in my book. Another channel regular, Raytheon, Latvian Academy of Sciences. Now, Mr. Raytheon has so many mods. You can build a whole freaking Baltic countries, and this one looks like a Stalinist style building, which has hammer and sickle in the end. It is a little bit different than it was planned. You have everything in the link description of the video. You have link to this university. You have, of course, link to the blueprints of the original ones. A lot of details. If you want to know anything about this building, you can go and check it out. Now, I'm not gonna read all the description because there's a huge description, history of the building, everything detailed as always. What we're gonna do, we're gonna compare it, of course, to the vanilla one. We're comparing these buildings just to see if they're unrealistically big or not, and what do you guys think about should it be used or not. I'm gonna leave that to you. I'm just here to present the mods. So if we go to our mod section, and again, university, we have Latvian Academy of Science. On the left hand side, 7,000 work days to finish, 500 tons of 5 times more bricks, 5 times more boards. Well, it does require a little bit less steel, I have to say that. Everything else, it's way more, even the work days to finish. What about the price-wise? Does this reflect the price? 165,000 rubles to build, while it's almost the same price, even though it requires totally different materials to be finished. It's almost the same price as vanilla one. But I'm gonna leave this to you guys if you want to use this building or not. That's definitely something that's gonna be seen in my Let's Plays. Buildman007, I present to you school project 221-1-149-174. School of this project were built throughout Russia in this period from the 70s, 80s and the 20th century. The school building is divided into school building itself and a sports hall for the convenience and construction and use in the game. There are two possible types of blocking: sports hallway, sports hall, and the school building. Okay, so this is what we have here. What's the difference between them? Actually, I didn't notice any difference between these two buildings. Is it the color? Is it something else? They look absolutely the same in the back as well, and you can see that they have oh, here we go, we have entrances in a different side. Let's see how this works like. If we go to these, you can see how you can connect them. Are they mirrored? No, they're not mirrored. They are looking in the same direction. This one does have entrance steps here, while what about these ones? These ones look absolutely the same. So these is this a different color? A little bit different color? Maybe not. Maybe not. They look absolutely the same. I'm not really sure about these school buildings, what the difference between them is. I can see the difference here in these hallways. And this is something that I wanted to mention this, because my hometown has the similar situation here. It has only 2-floor high school. It does have a gymnasium or gym separated. Well, it's connected to the school, but it's separated as well, that you can use it outside of the school hours as well, like for sports activities, and you can even rent it out for football match, whatever you want. Anyway, this is a beautiful, beautiful design. Now, I have a little bit of a problem with this. This school has an enormous capacity as far as I see here. Yeah, it serves 1,176 students. That's a lot. That's a lot of students. I'm not sure if this is realistic or not, but it's an enormous amount of students. I can tell you, when I went to school, we had 16 classes, 25 people each. So it would be like 400 kids would go to school at the same time, maybe ×2. That's interesting. Anyway, it would be still it wouldn't be so many people, and my school had only 2 floors. This one has 3. It's enormous capacity, so it's for your big cities. Your gyms here, I'm just gonna read this to you guys just in a second. It does have, right, one of these buildings, it does have collision for convenience of use. Yeah, anyway, so this is the difference in the description of the mod, which you can find in the description of this video. Anyway, how does this compare with the vanilla high school? So we have a school over here. We're not gonna construct it. It should cost much more. You can see here, capacity of vanilla school is 120 kids, while we're gonna go for mod section here and then find our school, which is over here. You can see 1,176 kids. It does require 42 basic education workers and 25 college educated workers. And why did I press escape? Let's go on the right hand side. We can compare the building prices. So this one does require 10 tons, the modded one requires 10 tons of steel, which is double the vanilla one, double the bricks. It does require enormous amount of prefab panels as well, and the size of the building is a little bit bigger. The only thing, I think the price of the building itself, it's perfectly reasonable and realistic. The only problem is the amount of kids going into these schools. Do you guys think that this is too much? 1,000 kids to attend these kind of schools. Anyway, leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this one. Mr. Abelian Hike 852 City Hall. City Hall based on a real building in Leninakan, Armenia, employs 165 people. Yes, this is what I needed. 106. This is a city hall. 165 people working in there. It's similar to the office buildings that are being built recently as mods, just to employ your unemployed people. Now, this is like I previously mentioned, the Abelian Hike leaves a lot of description about this. I think you even have some kind of there's no blueprints, but this is highly detailed building. It's really beautiful. It's, of course, it has Mr. Weliki there, Ulyanov or Lenin on the back of the building. This is really beautiful. Anyway, look, there's a whole description and the link to Google Maps where this building is located, so please go and check it out. As always, really beautiful model from Mr. Abelian Hike. I'm just gonna compare this to vanilla building. If we go over here and we go for accounting office and we try to build it over here, and then we're gonna have on the left hand side our new city hall, which is really beautiful. We're gonna go for city hall, and on the right hand side here you have this accounting office and the city hall on the left hand side. 5 times longer to build. Concrete wise, it does require 3 times more concrete, 3 times more gravel, asphalt as well. I think this is more than 3 times more steel. It does require 20 times more bricks, so it's definitely realistic building, and it's gonna cost you a lot to build, but definitely worth it because it's a beautiful model. Relaxed 27-story building, capacity 615 inhabitants, quality of life 75%, no collision. Connection to the building, pedestrian paths, pedestrian connections are deepened in the model. Yada. You have to go and check out for yourself, read the description of this model, but this is a really beautiful modern looking building. Even has a nice arboretum or something like that, nice balcony over here. This is probably for your later games. As you can see here, it does require your people require a lot of stuff, but 613 capacity. These are just 2 buildings that are just mirrored. You can have 4 of them or try to build a star out of them if you wish. A really beautiful model. Now, how does it compare to vanilla buildings? It doesn't, because it's too many people can fit in there. We're just gonna go and compare it to residential buildings, and I'm gonna show you how much it costs. So this building costs to build, if we go to price, it's 217,000 rubles, where vanilla building will set you back for like 12,000. So this is way too expensive. It does require enormous amount of steel, 176 tons of steel. This is quite realistic, and probably your later game building that you're gonna build eventually. Well, I will. Anyway, for more details, go and check out the link in the description of the video. Right, Natural Beaches by Mr. Novu. This is something that you probably saw if you're watching the channel. We already used these ones these are just beaches, and this is something that I didn't understand since the tourism came out. The beaches we have in there are some kind of industrial beaches that are surrounded by walls and whatnots, which is highly unrealistic, at least where I grew. I don't think these kind of beaches should be. They don't seem to be the most realistic thing, but this thing here, these are Mr. Novu's no collision beaches. You have several different models of it. You can shape it in any shape you wish. If you go to our attractions, you have several models here. I placed them all so you can see how they look like. Of course, try to dip them in the water. Don't build them above the water, because you won't have the water elements, you know, splashing on them, so be careful when you place them. Of course, as Mr. Novu builds them without collisions, just so you can make it look beautiful. You can also make them look levitating. Anyway, these are the vanilla beaches. These are Mr. Novu's beaches. Mr. Novu's beaches cost 4,000 rubles to build. What do they require? Probably just a gravel, and of course it's just a gravel. A lot of gravel though. While vanilla beaches would be over here in the end. They do require steel and whatnot. I mean, steel in the beach. Anyway, something that I will be using instead of vanilla beaches, definitely. Trucker Check, I believe, and Mini Cooper. Right, iconic British vehicle. What can you say about that? You have 8 different models. You have Mr. Bean model over here. He doesn't really say so, but anyway, it's the green one with the black hood. You have the 2 models with the British flag on top, 2 models with the white top, and three models, unicolored ones, green, white, and red. This green one, the yellow one here has a black hood. Anyway, this is iconic vehicle. Everybody here should know what Mini Cooper is, but how does it compare to vanilla vehicles? Is it cheaper or more expensive? Well, $1,500 in order to get this one. What about Volkswagen Beetle in the beginning? That should be on the first page, or we can always go to personal cars. It's more or less the same price, so price-wise, definitely realistic. Right, Ford Trimotor. This is one of those weird creations from Ford. Trimotor was a popular and successful aircraft design in interwar years. It is available here for these wishing to have early game stars produced from 26 to 33, 11 people capacity or cargo. 660 kilowatt engine, takeoff run is 350 meters. Commissioned by Ryan Skinny on Discord. Mr. Nixis is the author of this mod. As you can see, these are several color schemes that I placed in here. I think some of them are repetitive ones, but this is a really beautiful model of Ford aircraft. You have this even Ford logo on it. Okay, this is for transporting your 11 passengers or so, or a cargo. Can we compare it to anything that we have in the game? We have Fokker here, and then we have Cessna, I believe. These are the vanilla planes. The Cessna here is cheaper. Is this Cessna? Anyway, this C401 is cheaper. The Fokker one is way more expensive. You can see here Ford Trimotor, but this one also has bigger passenger capacity. So yeah, definitely realistic price, but bear in mind that this is an early game plane. You probably won't see it in your normal 1960s start. Anyway, that's it. I'm gonna say I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, press the like button. If you didn't, leave a nasty comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, notification bell, ring it, comment section, hit it. And if you want to support the channel, you have description of the video. Definitely my favorite is the power plant.